Hey everyone, I have another cool guitar to share with you today. It is a Teisco, or Teisco, whatever you pronounce it, model KEP-10T, but I've affectionately called this guitar Red Bank, after one of my favorite towns near where I'm from. I've had this guitar for a while, at least 10 or 11 years, and it's one of the first vintage guitars that I ever got. I think we paid about somewhere in the $250 range for it at the Brookdale Guitar Show, which was a pretty good deal because I'll put some reverb listings on the screen here. You see they're selling for like in the $300-400 range. Interesting headstock where there's 2 tuners on one side and 4 on the other, which can get a little confusing when you're trying to tune it. You may grab the G string and you accidentally tune the B string. It happens, but you get used to it the more you play this thing. I don't know if you can make that out. Maybe I'll put a picture up, but it says steel reinforced neck, and this neck is solid. This does not bend. This whole guitar does not bend. I think one thing to note, I don't know how well that's coming across there, this is not one piece of wood. Not like one of those Fender Gibsons where they say it's a solid mahogany body. No. This is a cheapo Japanese electric guitar from the 60s, meant for beginners or student models. If I had to guess, this is like different pieces of wood slapped together, or plywood or something. This thing is built like a tank. Taking a look at the back, it shows the serial number, 382652, made in Japan. The thing about Teiscos is that they were not always standardized like Fender, Gibson, or any other bigger brand. While there were some Teisco models that were more popular than others, some are hard to find. So I just did a quick 10-15 minutes on Google, going through sites, trying to find this exact model, and I couldn't find too much about this. I found models called the EP-10T, but not the KEP-10T, which is what this is. Teisco guitars started to be imported to the US in the early 1950s, 1959 or early 1960, no one's sure. And then eventually in 1964, it was rebranded as Teisco Del Rey. This is a Teisco Del Rey. So I'm guessing this is at least from 1964. I went to this website, which is a cool resource called Teisco Twangers, and they had different ways to look up your guitars. And I went to hollow body, 2 pickups, and I scrolled through the various model numbers here. There's some that come close to what this is, which is like the 65 EP14 or the EP15, or even the 66 Vibra Twin 12-string, but this isn't a 12-string. I think the closest one here is the late 60s EP11T. But still, this doesn't have the same type of headstock. Sunburst looks a little different, and the tremolo system looks a little different. Even on this Teisco website, I couldn't find this exact model, so I'm not sure if this is a rare model or not. There's a chart that shows when various badges and headstocks came out. It used to have a white pickguard. It's got this Teisco Del Rey badge here, and it's got this type of headstock. I found that Teisco was bought by a company called Kawai, or Kawai. Probably not Kauai. That's something different. But if I had to guess, this is from 1967, soon after that company acquired Teisco. I don't know how well that's coming across on the camera there, but interesting knob layout here. It's got 2 volume knobs and a tone knob. You think it would be volume knob for the whole guitar and 2 tone knobs, 1 for each, but no, it's got volume control for each pickup and a tone knob for the whole thing. A little backwards way of doing it, but still cool. So these unusual pickups are good for getting certain type of sounds. They're not good for every genre. Like, you wouldn't play metal on these because these feedback like crazy as soon as you turn the gain up. But they're good for indie rock and garage rock and surf rock and stanky blues because they have a unique sound because they're not like other single coils or P90s or humbuckers. Pick up switch selector up there for you. It's got rhythm, solo, and bass. That's an interesting combo. Bass to me gives the biggest, fattest, coolest sound. This used to have a tremolo arm whammy bar, but I took that off. My dad worked on this for a little bit. I think he took this bridge off a different type of guitar and set it nice flush with the neck. Before I plug this in and give you a real demo of this guitar's sounds, I have to show you a cool feature about it. Unplugged, this guitar is dirty. I think a large part of the dirty sound that comes from this is the fact that look at how long this section is past the bridge to the edge to where you put the strings in. That's huge. You normally see, I don't even think they're that long on like a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster or something. Like this is pretty long. It adds a unique sound to this. So it works very well as an acoustic, actually. I think these strings are just from whatever. They're not all from the same pack. Like this G string, for example, is from a solid wound set and the rest aren't, which gives it a unique sound. Not great for bending right now, but eventually I'll put new strings on it. Enough of me yapping. Let's plug this thing in, see how it sounds. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the little sound test and the story behind this guitar I got. If you ever get the chance to pick one of these up at a flea market or a guitar store or a convention or something, I would totally recommend it if you're into vintage guitars and vintage sounds. Good for garage rock and surf rock, and they definitely have a unique sound, not like your typical Strat or Tele or Les Paul or something like that. Teiscos are their own beast. Till next time.